Jeri Williams, Police Chief for the City of Oxnard. I'm responsible for public safety services for the City of Oxnard. And Oxnard is located in between Los Angeles and Santa Barbara, right along the coast. Beautiful place. South Winds is located at the southern portion of the City of Oxnard. Extremely impoverished community, a lot of migrant farm workers, multiple families living in small spaces, small houses. About 5 months or so ago, they experienced an uptick in violent crime like no one had ever seen. But instead of being fearful and withdrawing and staying in their homes, there were a couple of community advocates who were willing to exercise their voice at council, who were willing to come to the police department and say, what are you doing to help us? And then Parks and Rec was able to pipe in a carnival, bringing the community out for picnics, our National Night Out event. So while we're seeing some increases in violent crime and property crime across other areas of the city, in this one specific space where the community, the city, the police department, public health are all engaged, we're now seeing decreases in crime. Oftentimes I am questioned as a police chief, what are you doing as a police department? What are you doing to make my community safe? And I have a common canned response, and it may sound curt, but that question goes back to what are you doing? So if all the pieces of the equation, if public health, if schools, if education, community-based organizations, nonprofits, faith, police, city managers, if everyone is not at the table to address this issue and problem, we will continue with our silos that have been proven to be unsuccessful. Just check the jail rate, check the number of kids that we have at juvenile hall, check. I would love to be that police chief who, one of these days, can stand up and say, we have no crime in our city and you don't need me anymore. So it's kind of altruistic, but I think if we don't meet that intersection and if we don't start defining what the commonalities are, we're going to continue down this cycle. And the cycle hasn't made our community safer. The cycle has bred and led to young men and boys of color being incarcerated more than anyone else. So as a woman of color who has boys of color, men of color, I would love to be able to break that cycle, but it takes everyone at the table to further define what those commonalities are.